That run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands. And yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
There you go. Get down, get down, get down.
Running, it's Drake. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Ready?
On 2nd and 9, Osweiler. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Ready to break.
Watching you find. Let's go. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
There.
A first down carry by Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll start the drive with Drake. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Interesting, he told us that he likes to run right more than left, but there he looked pretty comfortable going left for a big gain, Charles.
Kind of like a basketball player who has a dominant side that he dribbles to, but the ability to cross that over, change it up, and break a tendency can often lead to great results, as we just saw there.
Now Drake. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Fitzpatrick now. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. On 1st and goal, Drake. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. But now it's 3rd and goal.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Hey, Chip.
Check. Watch 54. Are you getting ahead?
Kill.
Say.
Go ahead.
Switch. He's checking.
On the toss play, this is Drake. Now Drake loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
Here we go. Watch the safety creep.
Left.
Fitzpatrick now after the fumble recovery. It's complete to Grant. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. There you go. Get down.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go. Mike, spot 4.
Strong. Go.
From the 24, Fitzpatrick. And some room to run now. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. To sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the counter, Elliott trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, wahoo!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Take 4, take 4.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Rip right, rip right.
Again, it's Elliott. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Set up, 30 base. Hey, high 7. Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler letting one go deep. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. Well, what's the call here? Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play outside
Right back to Dre. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Fitzpatrick. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position.
15 run. 15 run.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 25. Check 25.
Now.
10th carry now for Elliott. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They go to Elliott again. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch the screen.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The kick by Maher is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Hey, Charlie.
I'm coming after you. 555.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Wilson now in his second season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with Drake. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Osweiler. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Come on now, let's go.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Parker. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, 76 yards. As they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Sanders on for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
That ties the game 31-31.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter.
We got this.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Throwing on 2nd and long. Osweiler. Amari Cooper, the intended target. 3rd down here. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
Returnable for Grant. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
Chill.
They'll keep it on the ground. Drake, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Bring him in. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, I'm coming after you. Mike's 5'4".
35.
Mike's 5'4". 65.
Strong.
63.
Now Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Pull it high. Hey, exit. Ready?
Osweiler to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dez Bryant in the final minute, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. they can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win. And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
PPP. Regular.
Fitzpatrick. On the crossing route, complete. That's Wilson. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Watch the ship.
52 and 56.
Fitzpatrick now from the 50. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
A gain of 40 yards. First down, Dolphins.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. One last shot now for Fitzpatrick. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone, as time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Miami, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.